Troy Galloway is a construction manager and consultant, commercial and residential builder, and a certified inspector for all commercial and residential buildings. And now, here is About the House with Troy Galloway.
Hello, folks. Welcome back to About the House. This is your audio university of everything about your home, and I am so happy to have you all back with us again this week. We touch on construction to maintenance to remodeling, investing, everything about your home. And what's really awesome about this is because there is just absolutely so much information is that we have it all on podcasts. And each and every week we have a specific subject or a product that we're trying to help educate the folks on, and that's why the podcast works so well. And so just jump right in here, take your pen and paper, and make all the notes. We got an awesome show today, one that people have been really anxious for a long time, and we finally got her right in the studio with us here today. Hey, this is Troy Galloway, your humble host. I'm the owner of Galloway Building Services. Just like this show, we're one of a kind. There isn't another company that provides the unique services we do for folks throughout the Midwest every day. We help with the construction consulting. If you have any questions whether your job's being done right or not, you give us a call. We do new construction inspections, whether it's being remodel inspection or a new home. Make sure the job's being done right. You're getting things supposed to be as they're supposed to be done. We also do commercial and residential inspections, whether you're buying or selling a home or a building, commercial building, so you know what you're getting. We also, hopefully it doesn't come to this, but we also do construction conflict resolutions and expert witnessing if you have anything that you've got to go to court for. We've been doing this for over 42 years. Our motto is that we making sure that you're getting what you paid for. The job's being done right, and you're not getting ripped off. So you give us a call, Galloway Building Services, 636-394-3112. You can always find us out there on Facebook and on our webpage. Before we get started, though, I wanted to jump in here and thank one of our premier sponsors that's been with us from the beginning, J&H Properties, real estate broker agents. Large enough to handle your buying and selling needs, and yet still small enough to be sensitive. Always there when you call. Never getting passed off to another person. Just yesterday, one more time, it's amazing the response people are getting out here working with these folks. I just got contacted. They said, they're working with Ramona, and they said that just like the other people on her staff, they just love working with her. They said they're so glad they found her on our radio show. So you give them a call at 314-602-4835. So anyway, we have a great show here today. I have the Jeanne Water Jeanne H2O company, and she is a water specialist. And she's just so much full of information. I just can't wait. Folks, jump in here, Jeanne. Tell us a little bit about who you are, how long you've been in the business, and how'd you get here? I mean, I know you drove the car, but how did you start the business?
So, Troy, it's H2Only.
H2Only.
Only. That means we remove chemicals from the tap water. Why is that needed? Well, just like what is needed is to improve my accent, and I was born in Belgium. French from Belgium, so the accent won't go away. But I'm the water genie, and I'm a chemist, and I learned all about water. And I have a business that concentrates in removing chemicals from the water.
I think that's awesome. And excuse me on the name, miss. I knew better, so I guess going too fast. But being a chemist, that sets you separate and way above all the others out there, because you are. That's why I wanted you to come on the radio today, because you are an absolute specialist. So talk to us about the chemicals in the water, and I know there's got to be good chemicals, bad chemicals, and why chemicals?
We're very lucky. St. Louis has the best tasting water in the country. But guess what? It's river water. We are so lucky in St. Louis. There is no lead in the water and no smell. And it is river water. It goes with EPA standards. So why am I having a business to take chemicals from the water because it's river water. And because in St. Louis we don't have lead in the water, which is very great. River water, they have to alkalize the water from the river and add lime to coat the pipes so the lead from the old cities that's in the pipe doesn't come true. So we have lead-free water for every citizen. They can go to the zoo and they can drink from the fountain. You might have lots of river chemicals, but you got no lead. You got no bacteria. You will not be sick tomorrow. That's a safety right there.
Oh, it is. And I've been talking to folks about the lead water lines for a long time, and until you educated me about what is it that they put in it? You said just a minute ago. What did we do?
They put lime to coat the pipes so that the lead joints in the old pipes will not come true. And so the water company gives you water with no lead. And when it comes to the piping system, because it's river water, they inject lime. And the lime coats all the pipe. It has a white coating. That white coating is not toxic. It just coats the pipes so the lead from the pipes don't come to your home. But when it gets to your home, you don't have lead. So you want to remove these chemicals that are lime that are added to the water because these chemicals will cause damage to your appliances, will cause the water heater bills to go up the roof, and it will cause sometimes you to have allergies to them. Sometimes it will cause other symptoms like scum it'll mix with the soap.
Oh, okay.
And that's why you have scum on the shower wall.
Oh, so if they had a water treatment, then that helps make your dishes, your showers and all that cleaner?
Right. And so we do that when the water comes in the home. We don't do it because we don't like what the county water does. It's very good water that they provide, and it's better than government standard, but most people want better water for their health.
Uh-huh. So what kind of chemicals are we trying, besides the lead, what kind of other chemicals do we have in our river water that we should be aware of?
So the chemicals that come to your home have no lead. It has no smell, but the government cannot charge you. It's a public utility to remove everything that comes from the river. They will remove what is highly toxic.
What are we looking at for toxic? What do you mean? What's toxic? I mean,
well,
I don't.
What is not measured by the water company.
Oh. Okay.
This is what comes through the river. There's like a list of 100, sometimes 400 chemicals per drop of water.
Oh, wow.
And they will not make you sick tomorrow. Usually you get good immune system. But if you want better water, we offer removal of these chemicals. If you take a filter, any filter is better than no filters, but filters can get exhausted.
Okay.
You know, they can grow bacteria if they get exhausted. So you kind of have to measure when it's time to change them. You can have filters that clean themselves in the drain. So think of you in construction, Troy. In construction, what do you care about? You care that the pipes are clean. You care that nothing is breaking down, right?
Right, and nobody gets sick.
Nobody gets sick, but in construction, they care that the appliance, when you do an inspection, you want to make sure your appliance are still working.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So, but the appliance get destroyed by the lime. And the lime does a job on the washing machine, on the shower head. It's all white stuff that plugs up the shower head. There's all the white stuff that accumulates at the bottom of your water heater.
Now, that's all in St. Louis County. We're getting ready to wrap this this segment up here. But let's move into some of the other counties that we have that's got some wilder water, and what you can do to help folks, and what should we be aware of. Because I know that, I can't make fun of the other counties, but we know there's some local counties, including my county that I live in, that the water is just, it might be fit to drink, but it's hard to get down. So for the next segment, jump in here and help us, guide us to this, and what we could do, and how you can make sure that we're getting safe water, not just good water, because I think a lot of us want safe water just as importantly as good tasting. Well, folks, thank you for listening to this. I will catch you on the other side. We got Jeanne, the water genie, here with us today. Thank you, and we'll see you on the other side.
Troy Galloway is a construction manager and consultant, commercial and residential builder, and a certified inspector for all commercial and residential buildings. And now, here is About the House with Troy Galloway.
Hello, folks. Welcome to About the House. This is your humble host, Troy Galloway. I am the owner of Galloway Building Services. We are a certified construction consulting and inspection company. We got Jeanne here with H2Only. She is a water specialist, a chemist, and an absolute profession in her industry. So we was just talking, Jeanne, a minute ago here, and we was talking about the what we do with the water in St. Louis County. But now we got some of the other counties out here that their water doesn't taste as good. So what is one county or one municipality doing that the St. Louis isn't doing to make it taste different? I mean, do they both? I mean, like St. Charles County and Jefferson County, does all that water still come right out of the river?
Yes, some of them come from municipal well, like in Eureka. It's a municipal well, and they check for bacteria like everywhere else. But the amount of bacteria in the well is different than in the river. So they add chlorine in river water till you have zero bacteria for St. Louis. But in Eureka, it's well water. Some counties in Jefferson County is well water. When you have well water, there's very little bacteria that come on and off. So the city water company add chlorine to the well. The chlorine mixes with chemicals in well water. The result is zero bacteria, but a smell. And that smell can be removed by any activated coconut shell carbon. But if you're in St. Louis County, you have 4 times as much chlorine. But because it's so overpowering, they are allowed to put a chemical that binds to the smell, but it stays in the water. And that's why St. Louis County, being river water, it doesn't smell.
Now, you get over to Illinois side often also.
Yes,
so
we do.
Tell us a little bit, because a lot of our folks are Illinoisans, and what's happening over there? Do they have a different water than we do? Is the water table or the...
Yeah, it's a little bit different. It's like around the limits of St. Louis, they have the river water, like in St. Louis, and it's got no smell. Mm-hmm. But you go to certain area where they have lake water, then they test it and they put chlorine, and it smells like chlorine. Some of them have more well water, and some cities in Missouri or in Illinois, they have a mixed. So depending if they are close to the river, they will have a different composition. And if they are close to St. Louis, Illinois will not allow you to put the chemical that takes the smell away.
Now, you're talking about wells, and I know a lot of our folks, this is, as you know, a very rural area,
yes,
throughout the Midwest here. And so a lot of us have, including myself, have private wells. Is there what should we be looking for in our water? Because honestly, we don't have anybody to watch out for us.
Well, the main thing, there is a law that won a law to have bacteria in well water. You can call the city where you are, and somebody will test it for bacteria.
What about private wells?
Private well well. You live in a city that will tell you who is going to test for bacteria. But private well, you need to have somebody to test for iron, to test for different pesticides and other chemical, and to test for the amount of lime. And there are different equipments to remove each one of those three things that are in well water.
Could you help us? I mean, you help people with private individual wells as well as helping the...
Yes, our company, H2Only, offers free water testing. Why? Because if you have well water, in general, you're going to need some equipment to remove either the iron, which is the rusty residue, or the lime, and people don't want to deal with salt that they learn about that removes the lime, or they are on a special diet and they don't want these chemicals in the water. Then we have equipment that cleans itself into the drain, so you don't have to change filters all the time. And we sell them, we rent them. Also, well water, they have some wells have a specific smell that comes from sulfur. So you have the iron smell when your water comes out and you see the rust residue, and you can have the rotten egg odor. And rotten egg odor comes from sulfur. It's not toxic to the body. It just smells bad.
Toxic to the nose.
Right. It just smells bad, but it's not toxic. Actually, they have these big baths from sulfur spring that helps are healthy for your health.
Well, that's right.
But you don't want to bathe with that smell. So we have different equipment. Over the last 25 years, they have had different equipment on the market that they're all based on a different system. Some of them you add Clorox to the well and the smell goes away. Some of them you put air and it oxidizes the smell into a powder.
Wow,
and then you remove that powder. Some of them, the newest thing, they don't like Clorox and they don't like the pumps that are going to break down with the air oxidation, and they use hydrogen peroxide, so it sanitizes and oxidizes.
So I just want to clarify, you're saying Clorox, but just bleach, period.
That's bleach. I say Clorox. It's a generic name I use for bleach. That was the old-fashioned way to remove the smell.
Well, that's how I was taught. Bleach.
That's the old-fashioned way. You have a little bit smell in your well, and you put some little bleach tablets in there, and the smell will go away. And then you can put a Brita filter to take that smell away for you to drink. This is the old-fashioned way.
I have to tell a quick story, and my children are listening to mine now. Of course, my children are, they're late 30s and 40s. But we lived in the country, and we had a private well, and the water I guess it wasn't a real deep well, and it come up and it smelled. So the kids were just little babies, and we boiled the water to get that, try to separate from it, and because the kids didn't want the stinky water that they was accustomed to out of the tap, so we called it white Kool-Aid. And children love that. And they'd ask, we want white Kool-Aid. They would choose white Kool-Aid over Sody Pops. And what it was is because the body, as a little child, they knew what their bodies needed, and that was good, clean water. And I just thought that was hilarious, we called it white Kool-Aid. And my boys are listening right now, so they're probably turning red in the face and getting a little bit, Dad. Well, so I want to go, and one of the segments coming up here, you're talking about the different systems and such, and so I want to talk, closer to the end about the different systems that you have to accommodate or correct, I should say, the different issues that we have and explain. And I guess you guys do all of that stuff, right?
Right, we do. We remove chemicals from the water, and we do it depending what you have and what type of water you have, and if those chemicals are toxic or if they just smell bad, but they're not toxic to your body. So we remove some or we remove all.
Yeah, there you go. Because we hear people sometimes talking about pharmaceuticals down in the aquifer, and it just kind of, I don't quite understand it. So we want to talk a little bit, if we can, in the next segment about the different chemicals and some of the jobs that maybe you've done that you told me once before when we talked about you did some for the city or the county or somebody, state, and so we want to talk about maybe a little bit about that because you've been, you're close to my age. You've been around for a while. You're well experienced in what you're doing. Well, I'm probably going to be in big trouble. Broken shin. Well, folks, thank you for listening to About the House. We will see you on the other side. Thank you for listening.
Troy Galloway is a construction manager and consultant, commercial and residential builder, and a certified inspector for all commercial and residential buildings. And now, here is About the House with Troy Galloway.
Hello, folks. Welcome back to About the House. This is Troy Galloway, your humble host and owner of Galloway Building Services. We are a certified construction consulting and inspection company. So if you got a new project going on, or if you're buying or selling a house or a building, give us a call. We'd love to be able to help you. Hey, while we move on here, we also want to say shout out to Jacob Abraham, who is the owner of the Hardwood Specialist Classic Flooring Solutions. Jacob, he's got a podcast on here. You can check him out. He's got tons of great information on there for you. And I've known him and his father. I didn't know his grandfather, but I've known the two generations now for years and years. Give him a call, 314-302-7222. That's 314-302-7222. And we're going to jump right back in here with Jeanne, the water specialist and of H2Only. I got that wrong before, but that's perfect. H2Only. And Jeanne, so we was talking about some of the different, the chemicals and some of the bad things in our water. Let's talk a little bit about the filtration and what type of filtration systems and how do they work.
Okay, we have two ways to treat the water. There's one way. We remove the things that will mess up your plumbing, will mess up your appliance, will cause problems with your skin because when it mixes with the soap, it makes scum. You have well water, you have a ton of scum unless you remove the lime from the water, you remove the iron from the water, or you remove the sulfur from the water. The sulfur is the bad smell. So if it's city water, you want to also to remove the smell from the chlorine. Or if you're in St. Louis, you remove the chemical that they add to the water to take care of the chlorine smell. But it's there anyway. So these are different equipment. The equipment to remove the lime, it's the same equipment for well water or for city water. There are three types. There is a brand new type that doesn't use any salt. The old-fashioned way is the salt water softener.
Yeah, right. Tell me about this new system.
So the salt water softener was one tank and a salt tank. And inside that tank, they have little beads that have a negative charge, and the water runs through, and all the lime is attached to those beads inside, and then the bead clean themselves in the drain with something very negative that's called salt. They use salt because the machines are machines. They're going to break down. They break down more or less whether you put a system that was a timer. Every 2 days we clean the tank, or every 3 days, depending on how much. The chemists say how much lime you got. So they move, and they use a ton of salt. But sometimes machine gets plugged up and new water is very salty. And one tank cleans itself with dirty water at 2 in the morning when nobody uses water. Think about washing a dirty tank with dirty water. I'm a girl, so washing dirty dishes with dirty water means lots of soap, lots of water. So you had lots of salt and lots of water. Then they moved to the new style with a computer that knows when the tank is full and use a little bit of salt. But once in a while, computers will break down. And you need a technician to set them right so you don't have excess salt in your water. But they use still dirty water to clean the dirty tank. Then they have a new style where you use 2 tanks, and the tank cleans itself with water from a second tank. So now you have 2 tanks instead of 1 tank. It still cleans itself with salt. And then we came up with another system where it doesn't use the salt. It uses an electrical current or a magnetic beads that are going to attach itself to the beads, and it's not going to cause problems to the plumbing. And there is these work very well if you have acid water or river water. But St. Louis river water, they add the lime so we don't have any lead. And the wells in Missouri in general are not acid. Some in Illinois are acid, and they go with a no-salt water softener. But the ones that are alkaline and have lots of water, they have to use a system that uses salt, but you want little salt.
That is I would like to come back to that, because I got some other questions about the saltwater systems and especially this computer system. I'd like to learn more about that. I know the folks would too. Wow, I didn't even. It sounds like almost science fiction. That's so cool. That they have these different ways of doing it. Well, folks, thank you for listening. We will catch you on the other side. We got tons more questions. Get your pen and paper out and make some notes, because I know Jeannie got so much information. You're going to want to reach out and give her a call. We'll see you on the flip side.
Troy Galloway is a construction manager and consultant, commercial and residential builder, and a certified inspector for all commercial and residential buildings. And now, here is About the House with Troy Galloway.
Well, hello, folks. Welcome back to About the House. This is your audio university, and I am your humble host, Troy Galloway. I am a certified construction consultant and inspection company. We actually have over here with H2Only, the water genie, and we was just talking about in the last segment. We're going to jump back into this because it's so important. Is that the salt? Now, Jeannie, people do ask me a lot about the salt in the water softeners. Now, I don't test them. Home inspectors don't test them because, they're on timers, and there's a lot of variances there that we can't do within a couple of hours. Where you do the water testing, and you said you was telling me at break time that you help people. You don't even charge to do that, so that's a great public service. But I get asked a lot. Now, Troy, my doctor says I'm not supposed to have salt. And I'm one of those folks. I'm not supposed to. Does that salt in that water have any effect on me at all? I mean, does it touch the water, or what? Help us out here.
Okay. So the machines that remove the lime from the water, they clean themselves, and they clean themselves with salt brine. Salt brine, that means it sanitizes and nothing can grow in those tanks. And when they use the salt to sanitize and clean the tank, the salt goes into the drain, and then it cleans itself into the drain. So what you find is that sometimes machines will fail. Is that something new? When machine fails, you can taste the salt, and you have to bypass the machine because that salt will be ingested. And you have to call the technician. If you don't have your machine set up exactly right, you will always have a little bit of remaining salt in the water line. And then you shouldn't drink the water unless you have a filter to remove that salt. And it's a specific filter that removes it at 0.001 micron, which will remove the salt particles and then clean itself into the drain. And that's a filter we put underneath the sink to remove the salt. But if the softeners are set up just right, in general, you have the amount of salt equivalent in half a slice of bread. You do have salt, but not a large amount of salt, and you can't taste it. But if you can taste the salt, you should never drink the soft water unless you have underneath your sink a filter called reverse osmosis system, and sometimes you need to add an alkalizer to it, and sometimes you don't.
And of course, you'll guide everybody. And
we guide you to make sure your water is not acid. County water is so alkaline anyway that you can put any filter you want. It's never going to be acid. Some well are alkaline, and some are not as alkaline as others.
Now, you was talking about the computerized system. Is that what you folks mostly use now? Are you kind of wandering away, or have you left altogether the salt water softeners?
No, because the no-salt water softeners do not work if the water is alkaline, and a lot of Missouri water is alkaline. So this is we still use computer systems, and we use non-electric salt system for those cases. There is non-electric salt system from a company called Kinetic Energy, but the computer system work very well the same way. You just follow them by a reverse osmosis
so now,
filters.
Do you sell the machines, and then do service on them, or how does your company work that? So if I don't really want to buy one, can I rent one? How do you guys do this?
So every machines, you have to get a plumber to put them in, and then you can rent them. You can rent them with option to buy. You can rent them to try them for 3 months.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, you can buy them up front if you come from a house and they had a machine to purify the whole house water, and you're not going to rent one. You have people who say, I don't rent anything. I said, man, I don't know if you're going to like that. Why don't you rent it? We'll put the rent towards purchase. You can rent it or you can buy it. Either way. That's what we offer, and we offer free water testing with quotes.
Do you come by and service them?
Yes.
I remember, okay, good, because I remember some of the older water companies, which we're not going to mention their names, but they would sell a service program too. And,
yes, we service everything we sell. Mm-hmm. We decided not to sell things that need loads of service, because we also in the rental business. You don't have loads of service on those, but we offer service on anything we sell.
Wow, that's good to know. And in the next segment, I'm going to ask you to help share with everybody how to find you, your your web page, Facebook page, your phone numbers, all that. Because, folks, if you're going to get a water softening company, This is the company, H2Only, and I mean, you're talking to a chemist here, not a salesman, but a chemist. And you know what I loved about what she said? I don't sell with scare. She says, I educate. And that's what I love about Jeannie. Well, folks, we will see you on the other side. Get your pen and paper. We will be ready to answer your questions.
Troy Galloway is a construction manager and consultant, commercial and residential builder, and a certified inspector for all commercial and residential buildings. And now, here is About the House with Troy Galloway.
Well, hello, folks. Welcome back to About the House. Really tickled y'all joined us on this show today. We have had a fabulous show with the Water Jeannie. And Jeannie, kind of H2Only, tell folks some ways that they could get a hold of you, how they could, your contact information, webpage, Facebook page, whatnot.
Okay. We, H2Only, owns something called the Water Center of St. Louis. We've been on Lindbergh for 25 years, taking care of water, removing chemicals from the water, all the way on Lindbergh, north of Page. That's before Northwest Plaza, north of Page, on the east side of Lindbergh, when you go up north to the airport. And you'll see a big sign that says Water Center Plaza, H2Only. You can come and visit us. We'll test your water for free, and we'll show you all the equipment we offer, and they'll be right on display there. Or you could just call us, 314-209-1996. You can find us on Facebook on Water Center Plaza.com is one manufacturer. Then we have watersoftenersupply.com, and plain H2Only sells water softener. Water filters of any kind. We don't sell bottled water. We just in chemistry of the water and water equipment. We do business with every home that is well water or city water. If you have a problem, you just call and I'll test your water and recommend, usually in St. Louis, a water softener or a water filtration system.
Repeat your phone number one more time for the folks.
209-1996.
Is that a 314 area
It's
code?
a 314. I started my business in 1996.
All right. Well, folks, you got to give her a call. She is just a wealth of information. I didn't realize she was also an engineer. I knew she was a chemist, so give her a call. This is the to-go company for your water issues, and to make sure you get everything what you're looking for. Well, folks, I want to give a shout out here to one of our sponsors, J&H Properties. Wonderful company. I hear they are a real estate broker company. They handle all of your real estate needs. You give them a call, 314-602-4835. That's 314-602-4835. But I also wanted to say a shout out here to Classic Flooring Solutions, Jacob Abraham. They're a hardwood specialist company, and that is 314-302-7222. I really thank you all for listening to our show, and I want to talk to you a little bit about the Veterans Chamber of Commerce. There are 4 people that are veteran-owned companies, but just also for veterans, and they got a lot of great services out there. You're going to really love listening, finding out what they can do to help you if you're a veteran, and if you appreciate your veterans, support them. That's the Veterans Chamber of Commerce. You can find their webpage out there, or you can find them on Facebook, and they're really there to help. As a veteran, I kind of have a soft spot there, and I'm on the board with them, so I'd really love for you to give them a holler. Well, folks, thank you for listening to our show. It really means a lot to me and Jeannie here that you folks have taken your time to listen, and we send our blessings, and God bless you all, and we will catch you next week. Thank you. Have a great day.
Sponsored by Troy Galloway and Galloway Building Services, your top choice for professional home inspections in the St. Louis area. GallowayBuildingServices.com.